Aloha everyone, this is Naomi Kanikuli, Intuitive Soul Alignment Mindset Coach here. And so today I am talking about my 5-day training to activate, revamp, expand to your multiple six-figure freedom-based business. And so today we are on day 4 and we are talking about integrating to fulfillment to your multiple six-figure business based model. So we're going to talk a little bit more about leveraging from PR marketing with the right kind of messaging. So if you're listening in or listening to the replay, feel free to say hello so that I know you're there. And again, if you have any questions along the way while I am sharing this information, you can totally comment or ask your questions. So I wanted to actually just share this live stream. So I'm going to actually look at my computer to the side and I'm going to share this on a few of my pages and my Facebook group so that other people could also catch the replay or see me live. So I'm just going to push the share while we wait for everyone to jump on in. I'm going to share it in my Facebook group first, okay, and then share it right on my page. And if you do like this trainings, please do share it on your Facebook page. I think there might be a share button underneath here. If it's not, then at the end of whatever I share, you can just push the share button and share it to your page or your Facebook group or wherever you want to share it at. So I'm going to just do one more place and share it right on my timeline so that everybody can see me live. Okay, so for the past 4 days, we've been talking about day 1, activating your superpower, getting out of symptoms of misalignment. Day 2, we talked about revamping your superpower archetype based model and removing, people, places, and things that are not aligned to you. Day 3, we were talking about expand to the correct path of least resistance, following your highest calling. And today we're going to talk about integrating to fulfillment of your multiple six-figure freedom-based business with the right leveraging with PR messaging and with the right messaging to get more people to get to know what you actually want to share in the world. So today is really about, because yesterday we talked about like spiritual initiation. We also talked about the other days about what is the 4 stages of soul aligned business model. And we talked about kind of symptoms of misalignment that you may be experiencing. And this is why you are working like 5 to 10 times harder than you need to because you're experiencing some misalignments. So along the way, when you are starting to get to know your type of business model, you're kind of might find things by accident, but if you actually start with your soul alignment blueprint, start with your superpower, you can actually go through these stages of soul and business alignment much more faster. So my signature system of activating, revamping, and expanding to a multiple six-figure business, I've been helping like my private clients and my group program clients to get to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, just using this signature model. And a lot of my clients already are getting a big PR, leveraging from other people's audiences, becoming, more industry leaders in whatever they do because they were implementing those 3 major things in their life, in their business. So today we're really talking about at the highest level. So after you've went through and you found what your superpower is, your soul purpose archetype, and then your path, then we need to go into really fulfilling things that you truly want in your life, in your business. And a lot of times when my clients come to me, they actually haven't had fun in their business, in their life, and although that they're helping lots of people, they just feel something is off or doesn't feel right. And it's because they've hit the wrong path. They've gone down the wrong path, aligning to the wrong archetype or aligning to the wrong superpower. And they kind of have forgotten what will truly fulfill them by looking at their true values, or looking at the things that really will make them the most happiest, not just in business, but in their life and their relationships and their community. So today we're going to talk about more about that level, where at the fourth stage, it's kind of hard to see now, but it's basically where you're going to have to work a lot on freedom, what freedom truly means to you. So to get to that point where you really understand what freedom means to you, you actually have to do these 4 levels of mindsets. So on top of, going through those 3 major stages, right? Activating, revamping, and expanding to a multiple 6-figure freedom business, right? And you're taking those stages that I kind of explained. And then when you are going in each level, you actually need to do 4 levels of mindset. When I mean levels, I mean like, if I could name like a whole bunch of mindset issues that you would run into in each stage of business and soul alignment, I labeled them into like a category, right? So for example, the first one of the secret actually to get to multiple 6-figure type of business model is when you do these 4 levels of mindset of soul and business alignment to freedom. So the first one is doing spiritual mindset. On January, I talked a lot about what spiritual mindset is. And February, I talked a lot about money mindset. And this month, I've been talking a lot about PR messaging because it has a lot to do with self-love and marketing and messaging and things like that. But it's related to really bringing out your true message into the world. So when you first are getting to know, what your true superpower is, you have to actually do a lot of, number 1, spiritual mindset. So what spiritual mindset is actually where you align to your lifestyle that is aligned to your superpower. Okay, so any kind of issues that you may not be owning your superpower, or having symptoms of misalignment, like I explained, like that has to do with, you need to do spiritual mindset in order to start to really step into your superpower and activating it. So that's the first stage, is you need to do spiritual mindset. The second level is money mindset. So when I mean money mindset, I don't just mean about, dealing with your father or mother wound, right? Related to how you relate in your relationships and money. That is also very important, but money mindset has a lot to do with monetizing your superpower. So creating a business model, right, or platform where you can keep talking about the things that you value and have money to use to have more freedom. Because of course, if you have more money right now in this world, you can actually have more freedom, right, to do what you want with it, to do what you feel like, you want to share it with others or not, right? You have, in a sense, a power to do what you want, and it gives you a lot more freedom. So there are all kinds of money mindsets that you need to deal with under that category, but basically it's all about knowing how to make money off of what you love, what you love doing, and what your superpower is about. Okay. Then the third level of mindset that you need to work on in order to have more freedom is self-love mindset. So self-love mindset has to do with like how to work less and make more. Basically, that's what self-love has a lot to do, is because you have to make choices where you have to save your money, time, and energy in order to do what you love, right? Once you figure out what your superpower is, and then you start aligning to it by taking daily action towards it, feeling more of that connection, then you start attracting more ideal clients to you because you feel really in your flow. Then you start to make a business model or platform where you can get paid for doing what you love, right? And then after that, you have to deal with all the engagement and the issues that come up by you, how you want to show up and when you want to show up, what kind of platforms you decide to use, where do people engage with you on a daily basis? Is it on Facebook or Instagram, right? Like, where do you like to hang out? Like, all of those kind of things actually has a lot to do with self-love mindset. right? How you want to work less and make more so that you can do what you love, but don't be on the phone 24/7 listening to everybody's problems, right? Like that's what I mean about creating boundaries, letting people know how you want to engage with them. And when do they need to pay you, and when do you do things for free? What is your free content? What is your paid content? All of that kind of stuff all has to do with self-love mindset, okay? So that's the third level. The fourth level that you need to work on is a success mindset. So success mindset has a lot to do with having it all, right? Like being an unstoppable leader to getting to multiple six figures plus, all fall under that category of success mindset, right? So everything that you have an idea about what success means to you, money means to you, freedom means to you, how you want to spend your energy, like where are you spending too much energy on things that are like keeping you like distracted, right? To then focusing on what you want to do for your bigger vision goals, like those kind of deeper issues. So like I said, all of those 4 different mindset you actually need to do in accordance with those 4 stages of soul and business alignment that I talked about, which is right, activating superpower, revamping to your soul business model or the soul purpose archetype, finding the correct path that is of least resistance, right? And 4, creating a lifestyle that really completely fulfills your higher level calling and bringing your original work into the world, right? So each stage you're going to fall into issues in your mindsets, okay? That's going to trigger why you don't go to that next stage. So I basically told you the secret on how to have amazing freedom is you need to do these 4 levels of mindset. So that's what I work on with my clients is dealing with those mindsets. Looking at what category does that fall under, right? So like when we first began, we talked about perfectionism, talked about like money mindset type of issues, the imposter syndrome, the shiny object syndrome. What was the other one? There was like 4 different kinds of issues that might come up, right, with your mindset. That has to do with your spiritual, your money, and your success and your self-love mindset. That actually falls under those categories. So once you start to uncover, okay, where do I need to change in my life, my business, so that I can have more freedom, you're going to fall into a lot of issues that are stopping you from moving forward because you haven't made those key decisions in your life and your business. So that's why it's making it difficult for you to keep going and going, right? Like we hit that invisible ceiling, right? Where you kind of created a prison in your business model rather than creating freedom and staying out of your 9-to-5 job and doing what you actually truly love and want to do, right? And continuously making money. It's really easy actually to get to 6 figures, get to multiple 6 figures, you hit your $1 million mark. But to keep it consistently, it's a whole other story because actually what you need to do is do all of these mindset work that I just explained to you. And actually keep going on those stages of soul and business alignment in order to get that much freedom, right? That money gives to you, that your relationship, like fixing your relationships, communication issues, and all the kind of things that comes up while you do what you love to do, right? So that's the 4 levels of mindset that you need to work on. And it really is the secret to success, to get to multiple 6 figures type of freedom-based business. And I have been doing this on my own too. It's actually, I kind of fell upon it because when I hit that 6-figure mark and I was getting to multiple 6 figures, there were like a lot of things that I had the mindset of lack or perfectionism going on and trying to like do everything myself and then not having fun in my business anymore because I was creating, right, again, a business model that goes against my blueprints and that also went against my superpower. So when you start to learn more about who you are at soul level, which is what your soul alignment blueprints are, and you start taking action towards it, it's just that roadmap that you can always continuously Every day when you get up, look at your blueprints, remind yourself about who you are at soul level, and then take action towards it, right? With your bigger vision goals. So, and start utilizing that soul alignment blueprint so it's easier to continue this for the rest of your life, right? For the long run. Because a lot of people, they forget that when you become an entrepreneur, when you do anything like this for yourself, for freedom, right? This is a lifestyle. It's not just a done deal and I only come to my job, right? Like a 9-to-5 job, I get my salary, don't have to worry. No, when you're an entrepreneur, you have to think about so many different things in order to have this kind of freedom-based lifestyle, right? To do what you want when you want to do it, and to have the people in the community that can really surround you and help you along that way. Okay, so that's a 4-level mindset. So in order to work through all of these 4 levels of mindsets to have more freedom, right, is you need these 4 keys, okay? 4 keys to redefine your life and business so that like everything can be you can be at your best, right? So for these 4 keys is what I found really helped me to break through each of those mindsets. And it was because I was able to redefine it that allowed me to work less and make more. So the first one is you have to redefine money. What money means to you. Money also with creativity and the pleasure that it brings you. Everything to do with what the money will create for you is very important to look at. Because a lot of times when we grew up, we were taught like there's not enough money, right? Money doesn't go on trees. We have a lot of shame around money. We have a lot of resentment about money. We don't get to do what we want to do. We don't have the freedom because we don't have money. Like all of those issues are because we have to redefine what money means to us. So that's the first key, is looking at what you can do to redefine money. The second one is the key to redefine is also going to be success. So what does success mean to you? So success could mean how many people you impact, right? Like how many people do you help get to a certain amount in their life, in their business? Like if you're a business coach, right? How many people do you want to help them to get to multiple 6 figures plus, right? Or 6 figures, right? How many people do you want to impact in that way? How many people do you want to read your book, right? To hear your message, to hear your story, right? To inspire them, whatever the key message that you have behind it, you have to think about what that success means, right? Sometimes success to people just means living a simple life. So that means that most of their life, they spend most of the time with very simple things, right? And they're very happy. Success sometimes being a very elaborate type of world where you have all the Chanel bags and a high class type of tools or software or a boat or a car. Like really, you have to define what success means, right? And then number 3, the other key that you need to redefine is time freedom. What does time freedom mean to you? What do you want to do more of? What do you want to spend more time on, right? You have to redefine what time freedom is to you. And when you can really define that frame of reference of what freedom is, it's going to really help you to know what do you want to use your time for, right? Because remember, time you cannot get back. It's actually more valuable than money because once you use the time, right, it's gone. You cannot... You're aging, right? Time passes by. No matter what we do, we don't have a choice. Time is always going, right? So what do you want to spend more of your time on? And you have to redefine what that means. Number 4, the other thing that you need to redefine, right, is your energy. What does energy mean to you? Like, how do you want to use your energy in your everyday life, right? Do you want to spend most of your energy with doing things for your family, or most of your energy doing things for yourself, most of your energy doing a lot of things for your community, right? Where do you want to use your energy and what is it for, is something to really, really think about. It's the same thing, kind of similar to time freedom, but energy, you have to really think on what is the key point of what this energy is for and how you're going to utilize it to help even more people, or to have the energy to even continue to do what you do all the time, right? Because later on, your body's getting older, right? So you only have so much energy and so much time in order to do that, right? You got to think about how you want to retire eventually. Your body's getting older, right? You got to think about your health, because your health and energy is interconnected a lot, right? So these are the 4 major keys that you need to redefine in your life and your business. And this is what's going to help you to have so much more freedom, okay? So when you can redefine those 4 things and also work on those 4 levels of mindsets, it'll be easy for you to actually find that fulfillment within. A lot of times when my clients come to me, they have like no idea what those 4 keys are and those four levels of mindsets are. And they're like, wow, this is genius. Like, I should have thought of this when I first started my business, when I, started to get really big and I just worked my butt off and, pushed myself down to the ground. And then like later on realizing that I actually don't even have time to even breathe, like to even have a second, because they're on calls all the time. They're on like launching the next group program, right? They're like creating all of this stuff and creating all of this content, and they don't really have a key goal as to where they want to go, right? Because you need to integrate all of this stuff to fulfill yourself and to have that multiple 6-figure freedom-based business. You have to think about all of these aspects and how you're going to get your message out to the world in a more strategic way that feels really good. So the question that you actually want to ask yourself, because this also goes back to leveraging on PR marketing, getting in other people's audiences, sharing your message, talking about these key aspects that we're talking about now, right? What is the thing that you want to stand out and stand for? What is your real true message to the world? So that's my question to you. What is your true message to the world? What do you want to be known for? What do you want others to actually be able to find you for? Like, what is your what do you specialize? When you can define that, and you can actually find that by doing these 4 keys in your life, in your business, that you need to redefine, and these 4 levels of mindset, and then you're going to have a very, very clear idea of what your true message is. So for me, for a really long time, like money to me was just something that I had to do because it's a part of my vision, it's a part of like, having the freedom. But the way that I saw money later on, because I made millions of dollars in the spiritual group, starting to get to multiple 6 figures now in my business. And I was like, what does really money mean to me? To me, money was to actually have the pleasurable things that I do want to have in my daily life, because I really love living a simple life. Simple life meaning, we still go to Ross and we go to like usual daily things, right? But to me, the most simplest things is what gives me the most fulfillment. So being in nature, just taking a walk, like I don't really need money for that, right? To feel that fulfillment. But for me, like money needed to be changed to like getting more of that, like having more time to do that. So when I defined money as like, oh, it's something very pleasurable that gives me like the choice to have more pleasure, like to travel to some place because I want to help, heal a specific sacred land and connect people with it. That was actually the reason that I like to travel, is just because I like to travel on purpose, not just because I want to see something pretty. I just want to go there in order to make a difference, an energetic shift for others and for myself, right? So when I was able to redefine that money and also redefine success, because success to me is living a simple life and still being able to impact, millions of people, but doing it where I'm not working my butt off, right? Like I went overboard on that. So I already know that success means to me is simplicity, right? Time freedom to me is like freedom to like spend more time with my family. That's my biggest value, is spending more time with my family instead of like worrying too much about stuff. Worrying when is the money going to come in, got to pay this bill or that. Like time freedom to me is just having that ability to just spend more time with my family, right? Energy was a very hard one for me because I've always worked a lot, or worked really hard, because I always thought I needed to work really hard. But when I defined energy as just like, I can do clearings or activations or healings on others, like be a really good healer, and use my energy for the better good. And when I redefined that, then I could actually see, oh, that's what my superpower is about. That's how I make good money. That's what I can do in order to engage with my audience. I could just, make a post of an activation and share that with people that I made with the stones, with grid work that I do. And success mindset of having it all was truly about just living a very simple life where I don't need a lot, but I have so much love and fulfillment and connection within myself and with my community. So later on, when I redefined all of that, I realized that my true message to the world was about, that anybody can be successful if they just align to their superpower and they really see how unique that they are, and really start to actually step into their leadership by being true to what their soul type, right? What their superpower does for themselves and others. So that's what I teach about most of the time, is just like teaching about what the superpower is and why you need it. Why do you need that in your daily life? And how can you align more and more to it? And how can you create more of that abundance and the money and the opportunities and all of that comes with alignment? Because for a long time, I was in misalignment. I didn't know the difference between the superpower and the life challenges that I know now, because I think this is the whole reason that Source gave me so much information, so many different lessons to learn about all these stages of alignment, all these stages of mindset work that need to get done, and all of this redefining what money, success, time freedom, and energy meant to me. So do you see how really, really powerful, even though it's just like one sentence, it's usually one sentence, it's your key true message to the world. And it comes with when you can create a system or process with your type of work that you do, right? And when you can actually be able to say that to the world, then PR marketing is just a no-brainer, right? It's just, more people gotta know more about it, right? So that's actually where I started at. I just had that one idea, which is you can be successful if you just align to your true superpower. And once you get that amazing abundance, amazing things can happen, manifestations, because you are in alignment to it, and then it fulfills you as much as it fulfills others. Okay, so here's the 3 steps of really good PR marketing that you can start with right now. So the first one is reach out. So this is where you have to reach out to people in different connections, whether it's online or offline, and really find the right audience who will actually listen to you. So this is why the market research is really important, because you have to figure out, okay, where does my ideal client hang out? Where does the people who want to hear this message hang out, right? It's really, really important. Like, for example, you might live in a community that is very religious, right? But you have a lot of spiritual gifts and things that you want to share in the world, right? But then, like, kind of feels a bit weird, right? Like there's something off and something is not right because of other people don't really understand what you're talking about with the spiritual language that you're using, right? So you're not going to talk about psychic abilities and things like that to somebody that's super religious, right? Because they're not going to understand your language, right? So I see a lot of people, the reason why they give up in their business is because they have they're expanding and their abilities are starting to heighten, and they're starting to see and feel and experience things, because I work with healers and teachers and authors and coaches, and they have this like fear of, if they really be themselves, right, that they're going to be judged, especially from their family. So they kind of like hide out in their own Facebook group, or they hide out like in places that, so like other people don't know what you're doing, right? This is like the worst thing you can do. And the reason why it's really hard is because you haven't really taken the time to do enough research to really find out who you want to speak to, right? If you're going to talk about things that are related to their religion, right, they're going to love you. But if you talk about things about like way out of their vocabulary, they're going to just think you're crazy, right? So this is why the messaging, your core messaging, needs to be clear, but also you need to make sure that you're reaching out to the right audience that will actually listen to you, okay? So that's the first step, right, to good PR marketing is, one, reach out, right, find the right audience who actually will listen. Number two is stand out. So this is actually where you actually have to figure out your core message again, but really like what makes you really unique. And a lot of the times, in order to stand out, you actually need to do the opposite of whatever your industry is saying, right? So for example, in the coaching industry, a lot of people are doing everything all totally online based. You know, they're not offering anything other than just their group program or whatever. And some people actually are falling and not making money or profit from after they've invested in it, right? Or they get misaligned coaches who really don't know what they're actually doing, but they are spending a lot of time looking good rather than actually helping their clients. And I've been seeing that a lot in our industry. So this is why I started talking about soul and business alignment, about the superpower, about why is it important to actually do mindset work and self-love work and all of these things I'm talking about with you guys today. What makes me really unique is that I believe that you are unique, that there's no cookie cutter type of business model that's supposed to look a certain way. I do know that there's a certain archetype that, according to your superpower, that you can align to, that actually will be the fastest and easiest way to do it. And so why I started making the soul alignment blueprints, talking about it a lot, was because I saw that there was nothing like in my industry talking about, hey, like you can actually use your superpower in your business model, like your 3 main gifts, and using my signature of activate, revamp, and expand type of business models. Because nobody was sharing that knowledge. They were just sharing about, oh, I made 50K months and you should also, you know, buy more from me because I know more. And it's not about that. It's not about the money. It's about your unique message that you can share into the world, right? And this is actually why I went to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures very quickly, was because I had a very unique perspective about how to market using your superpower, how to use certain words that are aligned to your superpower, how to, let's see, like there's so many topics I talk about that I can't quite remember. But that's what made me stand out, right? That was a very unique, and I was a very true and authentic, while other people were kind of like talking about crazy stuff, like where they traveled to and how pretty they look, and, you know, all the Instagram pictures and all that stuff like that. I really talk about normal things that happen in my daily life. Like, as you saw my grid work, you know, when I started really seeing that my modality needed to come out of me, I talked about how scary it was. I talked about how the grid work actually helped my family, and they also do the grid work with me. Like all of these things that are just like normal everyday type of stuff is really truly what I do every single day. It's not like fake at all, right? So this is why you need to figure out what makes you stand out in your industry, and you basically have to show up in a very unique perspective so people can see, oh wow, that's what makes her different from the other type of coach that does also alignment work, right? That's what makes her different than other business coaches that I've ever worked with. you have to figure out that one thing that really makes you stand out. What makes you super unique? Okay, so that's the second step that will help you with good PR marketing. Okay, number 3 is impact. So with impact, this is where you share, right, that unique message and serve for a greater, higher calling, and start to utilize your superpower and your soul purpose archetype. So what I mean is, when you step into your superpower, step into your soul purpose archetype, what your purpose is all about according to your superpower, and you share from that perspective, then you actually are going to attract more your ideal clients to you, because it makes you super unique. So there's a difference between, right, me, who I am a love superpower, and then any other healer that's out there, right? They may have very similar type of things that maybe they do, like activations and clearing work and stuff like that, right? But what makes me unique is because I've created the soul alignment blueprints, I've created my modality for the grid work. I teach all of this stuff. I have my Being Alohi Academy, where I teach all of this stuff of how to get to multiple six-figure business, because my niche is business. So I share a lot about what you can do in your business, what you can do in your life, what you can change about your mindset, what kind of messaging that you can bring out into the world, right? What makes the right strategies that are aligned to your soul, right? So I talk about a multitude of different things, but it's about how can you share that unique personality or your unique superpower in the world. And when you talk from that, you're going to find that more people want to follow you, and you have a greater and bigger message that people do want to hear, right? That they do want help on. So I want you to think about that. What are the three steps, right, that you need to work on in your life, in your business, so that people will actually start to really, really understand, right, what is that next level that they need, and also what you need. I forgot. So Mutaler, thank you for listening. If you guys have any questions and you love whatever I share, please do just share it. There should be a share button. If it's not right now, then you can share it after we're done. Because those who share it, those who do the prompts, and you can do the prompt below here, which I'm going to tell you what the prompts are for today. You can win a prize at the end, which is tomorrow, where I'm going to give a prize to one lucky winner. I'm just going to choose a random from my little post-it notes. I'm going to rip it up and then like pick one person. So if you share it, you get an extra entry, right? So if you put what your prompt was for today, what you realized below this video live stream, then you also share it, then that gives you another entry. So if you go share like all 5 of my videos, then you get 5 entries, right? And also five also if you do all the prompts below this. I'll give people a couple of days in order to do it all, and then I'll announce the prize. Okay, so anyway, day 4 prompt is that I want you to think about today is, number 1, which of the 4 mindsets and the 4 keys that I talk about, or if you didn't listen from the beginning, go listen to the replay, that you do need to work on, right, in order to create more freedom. So which of the 4 mindsets, the 4 keys, do you need to work on in order to create more freedom, right? So the 4 levels of mindsets of a soul aligned business type of business, right? Soul and business alignments to having freedom. The 4 keys to redefine your life and your business is what I'm talking about. So that's the first prompt. What is it that you need to work on? Number 2 is, what is your true message to the world? So I really went deep into that to explain why my message is very different, right? What makes me unique. So which of the 3 steps of PR marketing will you do today, which I talked about just now? Reach out, stand out, impact. The 4 keys to redefine your life and your business: money, success, time, freedom, and energy. And the secret to multiple 6-figure business model is that 4 levels of mindset, which is spiritual mindset, money mindset, self-love mindset, and success mindset. So which of these mindsets, these keys to redefine and your true message, right, in PR marketing that you need to work on? I basically told you the easiest way how to get to multiple 6 figures once you actually can define all of these things that I've been talking about today. I know it's pretty long, but I wanted to share as much as I can so you can see how much more that you can actually improve yourself. And when people work with me, my specialty is that I can really help you to see what you need to expand into. So this might be a lot of information, but your brain, as you're listening to me, your brain is going to recalibrate and be like, holy cow, just get like an awakening. It's normal. I have a lot of my clients that when they just get in my energy field, they like manifest amazing things, or they just get really clear in something that's just like been blocking them for a really long time. Because I share from such an expanded space that they start to like, their wheel starts to turn and they can see what they need to do in order to get unstuck. So now is the time to really expand, right? Because we're talking about expansion. And think about what it is that you are going to do, right, in order to have that true fulfillment. Okay, so let's go back and see if I have the other things to talk about. Yeah, so I think I talked about everything. So everything for day 4 we talked about. So this is why I created my Soul Alignment Blueprints modality, was because I was finding that people were trying to make a business model that was against their superpower, that was against their soul purpose archetype, that was against like everything that they believe in, because they were following somebody else's superpower. So I created the Soul Alignment Blueprints because it was the specific energies of what your soul is. It's like the multi-dimensional parts of yourself. So what your business energy is, what your manifesting blueprints are, what your superpower life challenges are, your soul group, which star system you came from, all of these different parts, because when you actually take action towards it with your bigger vision goals, you actually can manifest very, very quickly. And it's a proven system that I saw multiple times that amazing stuff happened by people just aligning to their soul alignment blueprints. So this is why I made my modality to teach people how to actually read other people's soul alignment blueprints. And it's very transformational, and you can learn actually how to do that on others, for your family, for your friends. You can do on anyone. And what you're going to do is you just take those blueprints, and it just helps you to have more the key direction of what a person needs to do in their life, in their business. And you also learn my Activate, Revamp, and Expand signature system that I'm talking about right now, about all the mindsets that I'm talking about now. Learn a lot of that information so that you can actually know what you need to do in order to leverage your time and have more freedom for your, having a multiple freedom-based type of business, multiple six-figure type of business model. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to put the link below. Right now I have a little special where it's $2,000 off, because it's usually a 3K program. And so it's $997 until tomorrow. If you've been really like debating on whether to do it or not, it's really a transformational experience. So it's not only for you to learn how to do it on other people, but it's also like good for your own alignment and your own way of creating that freedom-based business. Because my last round, we're just finishing up. They had amazing manifestations just by listening to my calls, and I just gave them amazing awakenings that they could see what they need to change. And when they made those changes, and a lot of things manifest fast, like making money, making clients that were actually waiting for them to actually be done with the course, and actually save them a lot of time. So this modality will actually save you a lot of time, money, and energy, because you're going to be able to do this on other people and let them see what key direction do they need to go towards. And once you map that all out, and then you kind of help them through that process to figure out, okay, what stages am I in misalignment? Why do I have these misalignment symptoms? How do I get into my superpower? How do I get out of my life challenges? All of that kind of stuff. I'm gonna be able to help you in creating an additional income by doing these blueprints on other people. So it's a very, very powerful modality. And you also will learn my grid work manifestation activations, which is where you can go and do it in your house, or in your community, or for your family members. and you can activate the certain place to create more love, connection, peace, in that environment that may be super, super heavy. You will be able to do that also, those kind of activations on all around you. So there's so much benefits to learning this modality. So I'll put again the link below to all what's included and everything. And also, if you really feel called to, at the end of this year, I'm going to have 5-day Maui spiritual biz type of retreats, and this is where I'll take you to very specific sacred sites here on Maui, because I manage the 3 main gateways here that connects people to Lemuria, connects people back to the Hawaiian energy and the roots of where actually we originated from. And yeah, so I'll take you to those gateways, and what's going to happen is you're going to really step into your leadership more. Your psychic abilities or your abilities will heighten more. A lot of manifestations will happen, and there also will be a part where you actually will come to my house, and we'll do some deep dive sessions with the group on how to get to 6 figures or multiple 6 figures. So it's kind of a combo between going through this deep spiritual experience, redefining your messaging and your marketing and all of that, and your business model combined. So it's a really deep experience. So within 5 days, you know, you're going to really, really remove a lot of those inner blockages or those mindsets that are really like stopping you from really going forward. So it's usually a $5,000 type of retreat, but if you do want to sign up now, you can do it for $2,997. So that's $2,000 off of that also. So you can either choose the retreat with the actual program, which would be that $2,997, or just only the program, my Soul Alignment Blueprints Modality Certification Program, just by itself. For $997. So it's a really, really big discount. But I really wanted to have more people to experience it, come and experience it. And so this is why I lowered the price for now. But then after that, the price will go back up. But I just wanted more people to experience it so they can understand and also use this in their life and their business. So if you're looking for something very transformational, this is it. So anyway, I'll get off of my soapbox about the Soul Alignment Blueprints, but I'm going to have another info class about the modality if you want to also watch that next week, Wednesday, if you have any questions about that. And also about the 5-day training, I'm going to continue probably sharing a lot of this amazing knowledge over the next couple of months. So you're going to see that I will make master classes, paid master classes, free master classes to share this amazing information, because a lot of people haven't really heard of my signature system. Only those that have worked with me, either one-on-one or group setting, has actually had amazing manifestations just because they started to use this signature program and their soul alignment blueprints and this modality that I'm sharing with everybody now. So anyway, tomorrow we're going to talk about aligned strategies of your soul. So we're going to get more about the biz strategy with the right mindset that you can do out of self-love, becoming one with your higher self or with source. And so I'm kind of going to talk about the strategies of how you can actually make what you actually do more accessible to others, right? So that you can market better, so people can hear your message and all of that. I'm going to talk about some of those strategies. All right, so thank you so much for listening. Again, I'll leave the links below. I do actually have my PR marketing class at the end of the month. Also, if you're interested in that, where I'm going to talk about specifically how you can market using your superpower. All right, so I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Aloha.